I'm just having fun.
Who are you? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is definitely a highly requested one, but it's also one that might surprise a bunch of you. The topic is Greg, per normal, but he has dentures, and this is your story. Why don't you tell him?
Sure. I am 31 years old. I have a full plate of dentures on the top, and
31. I just realized you questioned your age.
Yeah, it's hard to remember sometimes. And 12 teeth on the bottom left. I have the rest of them pulled out, and we'll eventually probably get partials down there. But it was a long journey to getting my dentures. I lived in pain for a very long time. It is most definitely due to drug addiction. That did not help. My genetically don't have the best teeth either. When I was younger, I was very bad at brushing my teeth. My parents would tell me to go do it, and I just would not. I would pretend like I did, but I didn't. When I got into drugs when I was in my late teens, it was pretty dental care fell way down to the bottom of the list.
Definitely.
And I brushed my teeth occasionally. You know what I mean? It just wasn't great.
I don't even remember how frequently I brushed my teeth during our active addiction.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice I didn't have my period, so how would I notice to do something like brushing my teeth, which is a daily thing?
Yep. Didn't even floss. I know how important flossing is now, but then I did not. I ended up going to jail with my teeth breaking down. A few of them were dying. They had broken off when I was eating various things. I ate a chicken tender one time and broke my tooth on that. I've broken my teeth on soft things. That's how devastated they were. And so when I did my 7 months in prison, I ended up having to get either 1 or 2 teeth pulled in the county, which is not the greatest place to need dental work.
Can you explain how they did it?
Okay, so I was living in pain, just my teeth just hurt all the time. I put in a med slip and I was like, hey, I really need to see the dentist. My teeth are messed up. I'm in a lot of pain. They got me in maybe a couple days later and gave me a not a steroid, but
NSAID?
Yeah, that, and then something to clean up the infestation. Yeah, it is a steroid, isn't it?
Oh no, antibiotic?
Yeah, antibiotic. I don't know why I couldn't think of that word. But they gave me an antibiotic and scheduled me with the dentist, and I went back and sat in a waiting tank, just anxious as shit, because needles in the mouth.
Greg doesn't do well with needles, period.
Yeah, needles, anxiety, and a jail dentist. Oh man. So they got me in the chair and they jabbed my mouth a whole bunch.
Oh, so they did numb this one?
Yeah, they numbed it. That you're thinking of the time I got fillings without Novocaine because
we'll get there.
Yeah, needles in my mouth suck. So they ripped those teeth out, and that wasn't a bad experience, all things considered. I was just in so much pain before that having them out was great. And I was happy to have them out.
Yeah, so you didn't have any cleanings for a very long time.
Yeah, maybe 10 years.
When you went to get the fillings that we were just talking about, was that after jail?
No, that was in jail. That was
Oh, I didn't know they did fillings. Was that in prison?
Hold on, I gotta think.
You have told me it was
in prison. It was definitely when I was upstate. They did some fillings.
That would make sense.
Yeah, and I had hated the numbing from the county pulling that I was like, man, if you can do this quickly, without Novocaine, I'm good. I can take it. And he drilled the fillings out. I was fine. Anything to not have them things stab at my. That's how deep the anxiety and the fear and the hatred of the dentist was in me.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel it now. So you've inspired that in me.
Yeah, it's a bad thing. I don't want my son to be afraid of the dentist.
I'll be the one taking him.
I could have saved myself so much pain and aggravation, because once you pull teeth, everything starts to shift around, and between the shifting and the broken teeth, I ended up with several teeth broken off at the gum line, so nothing above it but rotten teeth underneath, and teeth with big holes in them that food would constantly get stuck in. I would have to constantly pick it out, and it would just hurt all the time. Like, my general health suffered because I was constantly suffering from infections in my mouth.
And I tried to get him into the dentist for years.
Yeah.
Years.
A long time. I would resist because I would want to when I was in pain, but as soon as, like, it went away, I was like, oh, I'm okay. I'll be all right till next time. And
money was tight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So this past year, we had enough money. We had a couple $1,000s and didn't know how much it would be, but knew that we would have enough money.
Yeah, and that it was, like, urgent.
Yeah, like, it got to the point where it was every night he would wake up with a toothache. Anytime you laid down, it would hurt.
Yep.
And so I think I made the appointment for you online, and I took him in.
I asked you to, yeah. I was like... Yeah,
I took him in, and he went back, and the doctor, I think he wrote, like, a broken tooth or a sore tooth or something. Like, you checked that box. When in reality, it's like, you gotta get everything done.
I went in because I was in, like, bad pain with one tooth. And the dude looked at him, he's like, all these need to go. I'm like, I know. They were gonna pull the entire top and most of them on the bottom. It was gonna be like $3,000.
Yeah.
Something crazy, but like we had to do it. Absolutely had to.
We were able to put like $1,000, $1,500, I don't remember exactly, a substantial chunk of money down, and now we have payments for the rest of it. And at the same time, I took, I don't know, before his oral surgery, but after this appointment, I got the courage to go to the dentist. And I've never had any anxiety at the dentist. Like, I'm good. I go in, my fillings are good. So I went to this new dentist where he was going as Aspen Dental. And I don't know if it was like Greg hyped it up to the point where I had to get teeth pulled. And I've had my wisdom teeth pulled last year at like 32. So they're the very back teeth on top. And then I had to get the very back teeth pulled again on top. And I got so stressed out. I had a panic attack in the middle of the appointment, and I left in tears. There's a video on my channel. I'll link it. And I literally, like, the dentist didn't understand that I was having a panic attack, and I couldn't stop. Like, I wanted to stop. I didn't want to be crying in the dental chair. Like,
freaking out.
Yeah, and like holding on, and like I was squeezing, and like I remember just like I was so sweaty. So I was really upset, and then Greg had to pick me up. And this was like 3 days before his surgery. So his anxiety was through the roof.
I knew that. See, thankfully for me, the dentist did yours. The oral surgeon did mine, who comes in once a month, and he cut them all out.
Yeah,
so
and they just numbed me.
Right, and the thing that I don't like about Aspen is they sell themselves as, we are compassionate, we will like dispel your fear of the dentist, like everything will be okay if you come here, and just full on ignored your like full-blown panic attack.
I wanted to have like the laughing gas or be put under. I asked to be put under. I didn't know that the gas was really an option at that point, and he was just like, no, it'll be fine, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm telling you, like, I'm feeling not good right now. Like, I don't think this is going to go well. So it just was like...
Which puts you at risk, puts him at risk, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he cracked my tooth, and then, like, it was such a bad time.
He could have just waited and been like, this is what we're going to do, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but for me, thankfully, I got to be put under. So I went in, I was like the first appointment of the day, went in wearing baggy, like, comfortable clothes, and got put in the chair, and I think they gave me an IV. It was an IV, and I just went out.
When do you remember waking up? Where were we?
The first, like, I remember kind of, like, getting in the car, but first thing is seeing Target. Like, I'm in a seat, reclined back, and I look over it, and I see the Target sign, and I'm like, okay. And I just kind of passed back out in the car waiting for you to fill our prescriptions. So
while he went back for surgery, I was waiting. I had to sit in there. I was going to film a video in my car, but they wouldn't let me go outside. So when he was done, they said, okay, pull around back, which is not something that they had explained. So this is the old like Blockbuster videos. It was Hollywood videos, but it's exactly the same. So it's a video rental place that they've converted into a dental office. So like the back would be like the back door that they would take stuff to the dumpster, and it's like literally that area. So it's raining, and I go to the back, and they swing open the door, and like Greg is like
out,
could not walk, literally had to carry him, and they made me carry him, and like there was this grown ass man that was also the dentist or the nurse in my appointment, and I hit him in the face with the umbrella because he wasn't being helpful. It wasn't intentional, but I was like, dude, if you would just help carry him,
I
like
wouldn't smack you with
I wasn't trying to like do that, but you just stood there. So I got Greg into the car, and I put his seatbelt on, and like that was so hard. And I knew we had to go to Target to get the pain medicine and the antibiotic. I think you got put on another one. So I remember he was trying to talk, and I knew we were going to Target, and I said, like, we're going to Target, strap in, and he wanted to tell me where we were going. So he spelled out, he was trying to do that, and I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go through the alphabet, and you're going to tell me when I get to the letter.
I remember none of this.
So I said A, B, C, D, got all the way to T, and he's like, yeah. And then I said it again, A, and then I was like, Target, we're going to Target. I said we're going to Target. So he was so out of it.
Yes, we made it. Figured it out.
You were really excited. So then we went to Target. I remember seeing his neck. Like, I've never seen, it scared me. This was the scariest part for me, was his neck was just throbbing.
I have substantial veins like that pop out, but
it was terrifying, and I was like, I don't know if this is normal. No one explained this to me. I've never seen this before. Did I have that after my wisdom teeth?
I can't remember.
Yeah, like, I mean, this was, you would have noticed.
It was probably from like the IV anesthetic.
Yeah, I had the gas at the wisdom teeth. So we get to Target. I fill this stuff. I think of, like, on the fly, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get him ice packs. I'm gonna get him all this stuff. So I picked up extra stuff. And the ice packs were like a godsend.
You took really good care of me. Yeah. I had very, very little pain, like, for the entire recovery process. They gave me, so these are my temporary, like, basic dentures. I go back for another fitting after, like, because your jaw starts to shrink after you get all your teeth pulled out, because there's nothing pushing on them with enough force to stimulate bone growth. So I have to go back in November and get another impression made, and they'll make me like my real nice dentures. But until then, I have to deal with these basic ones, which they use as like a band-aid. So as soon as you get your teeth pulled, they put this in here to act as a bandage, and then I had gauze on the bottom because I didn't have anything down there.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, between now and November, he is supposed to go back in for a cleaning and fillings, which has not been scheduled.
Yeah.
And I am supposed to go back for 6 fillings, and I canceled that appointment. I'm actually going to go back to my old dentist because that guy was a pro. He was, like, a filling took, like, 20 minutes tops. So, in November, you are getting your final top, and then they want to do a partial plate on the bottom as well. Yeah. So that might not be coming until like next spring when we get our income tax return, which is fine. That's just... Yeah,
I mean, not having those molars to chew with, like, it's not the easiest thing to eat, like, but it's better than what I had before. What I had before was, like, holes on both top and bottom, and nothing matched up, and, like, I just constantly had to chew with my front teeth, which is kind of what I have to do now, but I have a little bit more to work with.
Yeah, and I didn't really understand that until I had the teeth pulled in the back, not my wisdom teeth, but the second time, because then I was really restricted to the front of my mouth. But for the surgery, I was also proactive in, like, baby food and applesauce and all different flavors of applesauce. So I understand the importance of getting the partial plate on the bottom as well. But I have a feeling they're not going to do it unless you get in there and get the clean. Like, you need a cleaning and fillings. And I know it sucks.
I mean, I've been better about flossing and all that stuff, but it's still no substitute for a filling.
Yeah, and I think now that we know how you feel about it, and we will communicate it to the dentist and be like, this is how it has to be done.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was also, like, it was hard for me to cope with the fact that I was going to have no teeth up top. I was just going to get to that. Like, it sucks. Like, when I don't have my teeth in, I can be very self-conscious about it. Sometimes I don't care.
I don't notice.
But I speak differently because you use your tongue with your teeth to talk. T's are difficult without it. But
well, because of this, because of his teeth, you know, he used to just talk like me, like with his teeth out, and over the years you've just slowly maintained it so that you talk with your jaw more than your teeth. So I have not seen your top teeth for, like, I didn't realize how bad they were until he went to get, like, he showed me finally when he went to get them removed.
I was unconsciously, like, just hiding them.
Yeah, and I don't think about it. I see his face every day. So, like, I would not, like, show me your teeth.
Yeah.
But when I saw them, and then he got them removed, but he'll talk to me, and I'll ask him, I'm like, do you have your dentures in? Like, is that in? And I never know.
Yeah, thankfully, like, I don't mind. You don't make me feel ashamed of anything.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I don't know, it's a weird thing to be, like, 30 and have no teeth.
Yeah.
Like,
but it happens to a lot of people. It happens a lot more frequently, especially to addicts.
Yeah. I mean, I know a couple people who are around my age and have gone through this same thing. Yeah. And it, like, I don't know. There's a guy at my work that's going through it, and it takes a very, like, dentures are not all they're cracked up to be, but, like, once you get used to them and you kind of, I don't know, it's a learning curve. You learn how to talk with them. You learn
how to glue them, how to do it, like what works best, what doesn't.
Denture glue sucks. Like,
I think
when wish somebody would do something better. Yeah, once I get the good ones, they should fit better to my mouth. But until then,
my grandma she's like in her 80s, but she has them, and she just has a soft liner. She doesn't even need to wear glue anymore. So a soft liner is like essentially like molded like a mouth guard.
They like put on the inside and
then it makes it snug. So,
but that like it wears out pretty quickly. Like every time I get it put in, I'm like, yeah, this is great, and then like 3 days later, it's back to glue.
Yeah, I had to have this conversation with Greg like over and over again, and it was hard for him to have the conversation like that. I will be okay. I will love you. Nothing will change between us, and he has been like very. How would you explain yourself in like 2015?
Vain. I've always been vain. Like I think I'm pretty, and I like to be pretty.
You are pretty, and I think you're pretty still. But you were especially like before we did all the therapy and work on our relationship. You got a lot of validation from your looks.
Right.
So now you're getting validation in other places. It's less important.
Yeah.
But it still mattered.
Yeah.
And I noticed that. So I wanted to have that. I like planted the seeds and just tried to talk to him about it. I would talk to him about other people that had it or just things like that. And I think it's really important for people to be encouraging because it's your teeth. You really, you have the control over it in the sense that you can floss and brush, which you do now. But your mom had all of her teeth.
Yeah, all of them. They're
removed
all,
too. And she didn't do drugs. Like, it's not like it's definitely a genetic thing too.
Yeah.
As for me, I've only had the wisdom teeth taken out last year, just the 2 on the top. I didn't have any on the bottom. And then I had my 2 back teeth pulled this past spring. And I have to get fillings. I have never had a root canal yet, but I'm sure it'll happen. Like, my teeth are not the best. They're not the worst, though, either.
Right.
Like,
you do get toothaches occasionally.
Yeah,
like,
that's just started happening within, like, the last year or two. So that's how I know, like, a root canal is coming.
And I don't get them, which is great.
Yeah.
As long as these ones don't.
Yeah.
They're still all right. But, like, I had a chip on my front tooth, which wasn't, like, the most aesthetic. Like,
I loved his smile, like his front teeth. That was the one thing that was hard for me. And I'm so used to these dentures now that it doesn't bother me. But
they color matched really well, and
yeah,
they did a good job for like even the basic version.
If you guys go back to the first video that Greg did on my channel, he was still learning how to use his dentures, so he talked a lot with his mouth like closed, like I'm trying to do right now. Like, you just use your jaw instead of showing your top teeth. And he's gotten much better at like using your lip, because you have to relearn that. Like, it's not like your teeth served a purpose there, and like they hold it all together and hold it down. So
not only that, like eating with dentures like takes away some of the experience of eating. Like, you use your palate and like the roof of your mouth a lot when you eat. So when you have dentures in, it like, I don't know, it takes that away. So when I eat, I'd like to not have them in if at all possible. But the glue doesn't play nice with that. You can't. For one, some of the glue has zinc in it. You don't want to overdose yourself on zinc. But other than that, it's just very, very sticky. And it doesn't lend itself to taking them in and out.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So I would leave when I first got them. I would leave them out for a while, and I didn't let myself get used to talking with them. I didn't let myself get used to eating with them. So when I got to that first video, like, I don't know if I had warned them for a whole day at that point.
No, I had told him to smile, and like he's like, I can't.
I couldn't feel where my lip was and my teeth were. Like, I had no idea what my mouth looked like in space. In space.
Yeah, his smile is still different, but he's learning, and you're getting better at it.
I've never been good at, like, hey, smile.
I'm definitely keeping that in there.
That's why I did it.
But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, leave comments. Greg will answer them. I'll answer what I can, and share your stories if you feel brave enough. It's okay if you don't. I understand. We get that. It's a hard thing to accept, and once you accept it, though, it's so freeing. And once you get the surgery done, he feels so much better. Like, the tooth pain, and then like literally you were just run down and not feeling well because you had an infection. So yeah, like this video, click subscribe, do all that fun stuff. We'll see you in the next one.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye.